This is the podcast where we talk with Joanna about Hyrox, but we don't really know what we're talking about yet. So you guys can join us and learn with us, because we only did the first event. We talked about the Birmingham event in last episode, and in this episode we'll be talking about how we actually trained, because we've got only 4 weeks to London, and that's where we're gonna share. If you know, we don't have big experience. Well, we do have experience with other sports, and we've been training people for last 20 years. But Hyrox is something new. So you know, if you disagree with it, go ahead and prove us that we are wrong. And if you see something what we can do better, let us know too.
Yep. So, how did we train for the last one? First of all, so we did. One main session per week. That was the main thing. And it was a long session because sometimes it was 2 hours, sometimes it was a little bit shorter.
Yeah, so the idea was to put things together, because we never done this before, so we basically every session we did kind of almost whole thing.
Mini Hyrox.
Half
Hyrox, 3/4, 1/4.
Different ways. But this was last time, but this time we're gonna do it a little bit different, because I think from what I knew it is like it is, that it's mostly a running event. It's an endurance event based on running with some strength exercises. Would you agree?
Yeah.
So definitely the endurance is super important. So we already started yesterday, and we went for the long run with our dog. So we spent 2 hours. This was zone 1, 2. We went into the woods, and we were running in the woods, picking up the mushrooms.
Yeah, running, walking.
So this is like a base fitness, base endurance, which on the top of that you build everything.
So we're planning to do it once per week.
Longer session.
Longer, easier running, walking session.
The second main running session, it's gonna be some intervals. So when the endurance is about going slow and long, the second one will be about going fast and short. So this is where you actually develop the speed, because you need to have endurance and you have to the speed as well, because you don't want to spend on running all day. You want to do this as fast as possible. So this is the second running session. Intervals, you think about short intervals. You're thinking like 100-meter sprint 8 times with 2-3 minutes rest in between. It might be uphill, might be on the straight line, doesn't really matter.
I'm thinking also to do like a longer intervals. I don't know what you think about this, but I'm thinking to do maybe 400 meters or 800 meters, and run as fast as I can and rest and do it again. Maybe do it 5 times.
So I would think about this as a third session.
I don't have that much time.
If you, well, tough luck, because it's like this will be something like would be race pace. If you run around 400, 800 meters, that's gonna be your race pace. So I would suggest having this as a third session. This is kind of more like in running, it's like a tempo session. So you've got, you can put them together, but it's not going to be optimal. I think that the sprinting should be on its own, and it doesn't have to be long. It can be 20-minute session.
Do you think maybe, because obviously we only have so many hours in the day and days in the week, do you think, for example, one or other could be combined with other session, or?
You could try.
For example, another session we are planning to do at least.
So we've got running. So we've got running sorted.
So we're gonna talk about the combining in a second.
Yeah, in later.
So
free running. Now the strength training. And
so I'm definitely gonna do it once per week, always, maybe twice if I manage.
So I do 2 strength sessions, and then this is something I always do. This is like throughout the season. And the idea is to basically get as strong as possible.
And what you're doing on those sessions?
Well, I do big compound movements like deadlift, like bench press, like overhead press, like barbell row,
squats,
pull-ups, squats. And we're talking heavy, so I never do more than... It kind of starts with when I at the start of it, I do like 10 reps, and then gradually after a couple of weeks I putting a weight on, and I do less reps. So optimally I want to be in the 3 to 5 zone. So I go let's say for now, I go and I do 5 squats, heavy squats. So I couldn't do another one after 5th one. I put it back, I rest 2 minutes, and I do this 3-4 times.
So twice per week.
So twice per week.
Heavy lifting session, basically.
Yeah, that's great. You know, I think the lifting heavy, it should be a staple for anyone, really. Doesn't matter if you're into the sports, if you're not into sports, especially when you're getting older like us.
Like everyone is getting older like us. Only.
Yeah, but I'm 40. I keep saying that. That's super important because this is what keeps you
strong,
fresh and young. And this is where you build your testosterone. It's like there's a huge benefits, especially for girls as well. There was a massive talk about the ladies lifting now, and it's important to, you know, ditch those little weights.
Yeah,
and 2 kilograms heavy. And go heavy. Go heavy.
Build your muscles because it's like your body under armor.
Yeah. So that's 1 or 2 sessions. And then obviously you need to have some specific Hyrox thing. So at this moment we do Saturday, longer one, and then we use some of the machines and movement on Wednesday. So we've got 2 sessions there.
Yes, and I couldn't because that was the session in the studio, but I couldn't do the session before, and I did my shorter version of Hyrox, like 30 minutes, very intense, crazy, every minute on the minute, or as many reps as possible, as many runs as possible, but it was short. There was no running in this one. It was mostly the workouts, the exercises from the workouts from the event, and I just pushed myself. So I'm planning to do the same this time.
So simply recapping.
Yeah, recapping.
We've got running on one side, which is long, fast, and something in the middle.
So 3, yeah.
3. Then we've got strength. 2 strength, which is 5, and then 2 Hyrox.
2 Hyrox. So now let's talk about combining. Which one you think we could? I would combine maybe a strength with running, like one of them.
Probably with sprinting, I would do it.
So heavy lifting and sprinting. It will be tough, obviously, but
yes, maybe sprinting to start with, and then heavy lifting. I would keep the long endurance as a long endurance. Maybe there's something we do this for the long distance running, that you do your zone 2 run, which is slow and long, and in between you've got some intervals, like faster runs, let's say 10-15 minutes, where you focus on fast running and then you go again slow. You can probably do this, so you can combine this way. Strength training, like I think 2 is minimum, because you have to remember that we're not doing the strength training only for the Hyrox. Hyrox is a nice vehicle which you train for, but really you do strength, and you do any fitness exercises really, just to get stronger body, healthier body for longer, so you can enjoy the way you are and the things you do for as long as you can. It's not about the next event. The next event is just nice stepping stone, and then you've got another and another. There are people on Hyrox who are like 60 and 70 and they're still competing. There are people in Ironman, they are 80. So I want to be one of these guys at some point.
Yeah. So train not just for one event, train for life.
So the strength training, and then there's 2 Hyrox sessions. It's quite a lot of them, but remember, you don't have to do them long. You know, if you do really good strength session, half an hour, that's all you need. And you don't need a lot of things. As long you've got the barbell, probably barbell is the best thing to do. We've got at the club, we've got different tools, but with one barbell you can sort it. In terms of Hyrox, well, I would suggest to put your hands on the equipment.
Yeah,
or you need to try it.
Yeah, join the place which has the equipment, so you can give it a go and figure out your technique.
Yeah, and then when you've got all of those things, so this is our training, this is how we train, and then obviously we focus on the things specific for us. So in last episode I told you that the burpees almost killed me, and then lunges almost killed me. So what I do at this moment, on the top of this training, with almost every day when I'm at the club teaching, I try to get myself to do some burpees. So I do some burpees in between the clients, I do burpees with the clients. I want to just get good at them. So it's like it's a technical movement. It is cardio, but it's on the top of that. There's a way. If you do this more with very good technique, you're gonna get better at this. So that's what I'm doing. And the same with the lunges. For the lunges, I'm putting now 30 kilo just to do a little bit more So on the event, it feels easier.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good way to do a little bit heavier than what you're supposed to do. So when you do the event, it's actually not that bad. So this is what we did for the wall balls. I've been training with 6 kilograms wall ball. And for the event, I had 4 kilograms. So that was like, oh, wow, this is light.
It feels light.
So I'm going to do the same. I'm going to do heavier wall balls, heavier lunges, and maybe sleds I will load a little bit heavier. So then again, event will be like, oh, that's not too bad, to be honest.
I hope it's going to be like this. Are you going to compete in, anyone who is listening or watching this, are you going to be in London? If you will be there, high five. If you see me or Joanna, say hello. maybe we can record the podcast together. It would be awesome.
Yeah, about your experience.
About the experience, because this is what we want to do. We want to bring more people into the sport, and we want to show people that the sport is for anyone, really.
And that it's fun.
We love it. Our clients love it. So I think we should just spread the love and tell more people about this. Spread the love. Oh. Okay. Perfect. Thank you very much. Do we know what we're talking about in the next episode?
No.
We didn't. We don't know. So you need to check it then. Okay.
Speak to you soon.
Bye.